How many of you have wanted to go fast? How many of you wanted to get to your final destination quicker? And how many of you kind of love driving, but at the same time, there's other times where you're tired of the slow drivers. You're tired of going slow. My name is Jawad and welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about kind of going fast, and sometimes I just want to speed. I want to go like 100, 200 miles an hour if I could. Some days I feel like just speeding so fast just to get to my final destination. But if I got to drive 45 minutes away or an hour away and I just feel like going super fast, even though technically I don't and I follow the speed limits, I do follow the rules on that because I don't want to get any more tickets because I hate tickets. Before I used to get tickets, before I had a lead foot, I would just want to go fast. I would want to hurry up and get to my final destination because sometimes some freeways have the speed limit where it's like 55 and you're thinking, this is a freeway, it should be like 70. And there's other times where it's like 65 and you still want to go 75 because this is a freeway. There's literally nothing miles around. Why are they setting the speed limit to 65? I want to get to my destination quicker. I get tired of just going slow. And then you get the slow drivers in the fast lane. It's like, how many people that are going super slow decide to go, I'm gonna pull right into the fast lane and keep going slow, but here's a bunch of cars coming behind that are going the speed limit. There's somebody out there that's gonna come in the fast lane and go barely the speed limit or go below the speed limit. Regardless of what you can do, you can't do anything. What are you gonna do? Ride their bumper? What's that gonna accomplish? Nothing. Try to go faster than them when all three lanes have cars and vehicles in them, it's not gonna do anything. The only thing that might happen is you might cause an accident because you want to ride their bumper. The cool part is I got to ride a motorcycle overseas. Certain countries, you can drive pretty much anywhere as long as there's a spot to drive on or there's a spot that you can make it to that you can drive on. Whether it's a dirt road or it's the road, it doesn't matter kind of which way you're going as long as you're careful and you're watching where you're going. There's certain parts in the world where you can do that. There's certain parts in Europe where you have to be on the other side of the road. You're driving on the left side of the road instead of the right side of the road, but they have laws. But you still have to be careful where you drive because they're actually able to drive a lot slower because they're driving in kilometers per hour instead of miles per hour. You still have to be careful. But the cool part is you can actually drive a motorcycle or a scooter where it's easier and safer for those motorcycles or scooters. And because the speed limit's slower, you don't have to worry as much. You still have to worry, you still have to be careful, and you still have to watch out for cars and trucks and vehicles and everything like that, but you're able to actually ride those motorcycles or scooters. And it's fun. It's the coolest thing that I got to do. I like riding motorcycles, and it's nicer when you're riding them at a like warmer temperature, not like where it's cold outside. The third part that I wanted to talk about is following the rules. There's times where I don't feel like following the rules. There's times where I completely follow the rules. There's times where I wish I wouldn't follow the rules, but I still follow the rules. When it comes to driving, I'm very cautious and very careful. Like if I ever have somebody in the car and then I have myself in the car, I'm more cautious and I'm more careful. Sometimes I do go a little bit above the speed limit, but not much. I don't do it where it's gonna endanger anybody or it's gonna hurt anybody or I'm gonna cause road rage or anything like that because I know what it's like. I've seen both ends of road rage where I was the passenger in a car where the driver kind of became road rage against somebody else because somebody else cut them off, because somebody else almost nearly hit them and the person became enraged. The person was driving like right up their bumper that if for any reason the person braked, both cars would have been in an accident. I've been in both sides. So I know when to be careful, and because of that, it actually made me more careful. It made me want to be a better driver. And I'm not saying that everybody's gonna do it or everybody should do it, but there's signs out there that you need to be careful of. The main reason I'm creating this video is for young teenagers, kids, anybody who's just getting their permit or has their license or is underage and is starting to learn to drive. You have to be careful because the signs that are out there, construction signs that say do not enter construction or slow down, it's construction, you have to be more cautious. You have to be more careful. If you have your parent or somebody who's an adult with you that's supposed to be keeping an eye on you, training you and helping you out, and you're not cautious and you're not careful, you go through a part that says closed and it's under construction and you go through it, you break the chain, but yet there was nothing except for gravel in that area. But guess what? Just because there's just gravel there, a chain, and you go through it, doesn't mean that you can't get arrested. Doesn't mean that you can't get in trouble. Yes, you might be a minor. You might be underage. You might get a slap on the wrist or get a warning or something like that. But guess what? The person that's in the car, the adult, and if you try to evade the police and there's an adult in the car and they didn't try to stop you or tell you to stop the car or force you to stop that car, they're going to get arrested. They're going to go to jail. It's going to be on their record that they try to evade police. They endangered people, that they were responsible. This could be your parent. This could be your brother, sister, any family member, or a friend that you send to jail because you didn't want to stop, or you didn't want to follow the directions, or you didn't want to be careful of the sign that's saying do not enter, or construction, or work ahead. So remember, before you start going through an area that says construction and construction vehicles only, or it's closed off because of a single chain and some gravel, don't think it's just harmless. If you stop, maybe you might get a warning. But if you keep going and running and trying to evade the police and trying to escape, guess what? You can't evade the police. They might be going slower than you. They might be stuck behind other cars or vehicles or something else. But guess what? As soon as they know your license plate, as soon as they know what type of car you have or SUV or anything, and while you're 3, 4, 5, or 6 or 10 cars ahead, guess what? They already know what type of car you have. They know the make and model. And guess what? They're going to call it over the scanner and they're going to say, this is the make and model, this is what it is, and this is where they're heading. Somebody else will find you. They will send other police vehicles out to get you. And guess what? You might not get nothing more than a slap on the wrist, but your parent or your brother or adult that's in there, they could get 2 years or more, depending on how serious it is, depending on how far you ran, or depending on the fact that you stopped or didn't stop. There's a huge aspect to it. So if you're careful, cautious, and you follow the rules, you'll be protected. My name is Jawad, and thanks for watching.